I want to buy an investment property. What's better, Mick? Single family homes or a multifamily home, apartment, duplex, something like that? That's the question I get most often when I have new investors who are looking to get into real estate. So we're going to break it down for you. And to me, there's really three main things that you need to think about whether you want to be in a single family homes or if you want to be in apartments. Okay. So the first thing that we need to think about is this going to be a short-term investment or is it going to be a long-term investment? Okay. And what I mean by that is if you're going to do it for the short term, hey, I've got an extra 50,000, maybe I might be building a house in a couple years, or the kid's going to college in a couple years. I might need that money. Single family might be the way to go. But if you're looking more long term, like, hey, I want to keep on to this is going to be part of my retirement, then to me, apartments should be given a little bit more consideration because long term, you can continue to build rents in multiple units. They're covering multiple parts of your capital expenditures. So in the long term, to me, it works out better for apartments. If you're thinking more short term, I would definitely go with the single family home. So let's get that on the board. So let's say short term. Or long term. And this is definitely going to be a personal preference, right? So maybe I'm new and I don't want to have a ton of tenants. Single family might be the way to go there, okay? The next thing that we're going to think about is our financing, right? So how are we going to pay for it? Again, I use the $50,000 example, right? So if you're thinking short term, I want to get my money back fairly quickly if I need to, a single family home might be the way to go. Again, if you're thinking, hey, I want to do this more long term, then maybe think about that $50,000 going into a loan to buy an apartment. Now, we got to think about that a little bit. So I'm going to put financing up here, okay? And so when we're thinking about financing, there's three different routes, okay? So you can obviously come in and go cash, a lot easier to do on a single family home. If it's 1 to 4 units, you have to get a regular mortgage like you would on a house. So they're going to look really hard at your personal debt to income ratio, how much cash you have, what are your current expenses personally, where on the commercial apartment side, they're going to be a lot more focused on, okay, what is the profit and loss report look like for this building over the last 3 years? What are the vacancy rates? What's the maintenance cost? Things of that nature, okay? So again, think about that. How do I look personally? Am I better at looking at a P&L and determining what my rate of return is on that? Or do I want to go easy peasy, get in a single family home for $50,000, rent it out, not have to worry about the financing piece, right? So that is number 2. Last, certainly not least, but definitely ties in with our first point here, short-term versus long-term, and that's what your exit strategy is, okay? So when you do go to get out of this building, how are you going to do it? And with a single family, the nice thing is when the market gets strong, like it is right now, you could essentially not renew a lease, have the property go vacant, bring in contractors, and essentially do a flip on your rental and probably make some decent money on the back end when you go to sell it, right? Where an apartment is going to be a lot different, right? So you are going to want to have all those units filled. You're going to want to have some history of being profitable, right? And you're going to want to be able to show that you have increased the rents and are staying in line with what market rents are for the area, okay? So again, exit strategy, really big, kind of ties into your short-term versus long-term strategy on what exactly you want to do. If you got any more questions, single family versus multifamily, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, email. I'm happy to help. MixHometeam.com. Get more info. Thanks a lot, guys.